Shalom. Giving all honor, all praise, and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rechakwadash. Double unto the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone that rule well. And as always, peace, blessings, and salutations until the hopeful elect tabernacle of David scattered abroad across the four winds of the earth. Now, this is more demonstration to the conditioning and how they're taking, more steps further towards this MOTB system, with these different technological advances and these digital programs, or where, you have to use, your body to get access to your digital accounts. This is taking further steps, gradual steps towards what they ultimately want. All right, as they evolve in this technology, towards that transition. All right. Now, this is from the LA Times, and this is dealing with this new eye scanning orb technology, where once they scan your retina, you got access to your crypto account. All right, and we know that your eyes is in your head, right in your head, and we know the prophecy said that the mark would have to be either in your right hand, or your hand, or in your forehead. Okay. That says, Sam Altman's eye scanning orbs have arrived, sparking curiosity and fear. And it says here, a San Francisco startup backed by Sam Altman uses iris scans to verify human identity without requiring users to supply personal information such as their names, emails, and phone numbers. But some experts are skeptical and contend that handing over biometric data is too risky, citing data privacy concerns. And we know that the, during the main event, or the hour of temptation, when they, have everybody to take this particular device, it's going to have all that in there. It's going to be like a digital ID containing all your information about you, including your financial record, your balance. All right. The last thing you spent your digital money on, how much did you spend? All that's going to be there. All right. Because the devil, he wants to basically own you, control you. All right. So, this is just another step, and there's various ways that they're approaching this whole thing. It says this month, a mysterious store selling a vision of the future selling a vision of the future opened its doors in downtown San Francisco's Union Square district. A cryptic message appeared on the storefront window: "World is the real human network. Anonymous proof of human and universally inclusive finance for the age of AI, millions of humans in over 160 countries, now available in the USA." All right. So, just to condition you and get you ready, to face the image of this beast. Because this is the wave, the new wave of the so-called new world. All right, the fourth industrial revolution. It says the store attracted a small crowd and curious onlookers. People took turns scanning their eyes by peering into white devices known as orbs to prove they are human. Then they received free of charge a verified world ID they could use to log into online services and apps. All right, basically getting access to your account so that you can be able to observe your balances, and you can also be able to start buying and selling, right? Because now you can buy everything using these apps now. You don't have to put out any money or anything out your wallet anymore. It says as a bonus, participants were given some world coin cryptocurrency tokens, and Trump, Elon, this is what this administration is pushing. They want to be like the number one crypto capital of the world. That's what they're aiming for. All right, but basically, digital currency is going to be, the ultimate. Okay, it's the norm. It's the ultimate, and it's going to be the only way in the near future. All right, blockchain technology. It says some just observe from a distance. I'm afraid to walk inside. Brian Klein, 66, as he peered into the window on his way to the theater. I don't want that thing taking any of my data and biometric scanning me. The futuristic technology is the creation, a startup called Tools for Humanity. Steps towards the MOTB is what I would call it, which is based in San Francisco and Munich, Germany, founded in 2019 by Alex Blania and Sam Altman, the entrepreneur known for OpenAI's ChatGPT. The tech company says it's building for humans in the age of AI. In theory, this iris scan offer a safe and convenient way, and just pay attention to that use of that term. All right, convenient. Because that's one of the ways that they've been describing this whole thing. This technology that's going to be convenient for everybody. All right, they're going to make this appealing in some way, in some fashion. It says to verify the human identity at a time when AI-powered tools can easily create fake audio and images of people. So now they got to, cause you to think about it now. Oh man, this can help me from, people taking, stealing my information. So they can make the same argument or use the same talking point when it's time to promote the actual mark. Everybody have their own individual mark, and everything about you will be placed in your body. Nobody can take it from you. Nobody can steal it from you. See that? So, like the scriptures say, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we're not ignorant of his devices. It says we wanted a way to make sure that humans stayed special and essential in a world where the internet was going to have lots of AI-driven content, said Altman, the chairman of Tools for Humanity, at a glitzy event in San Francisco last month. Like the early stages of Facebook and PayPal, the world is still in a growth phase, trying to lure enough customers to its network to eventually build a viable service. A chief draw, World says, is that people can verify their humaneness at an orb without providing personal information such as their names, emails, phone numbers, and social media profiles. But some are skeptical, contending that handing over biometric data is too risky. They cite instances in which companies have reported data breaches were filed for bankruptcy, such as DNA research firm 23andMe. You can't get new eyeballs. I don't care what this company says. Biometric data like these retinal scans will get out. Hacks and leaks happen all the time. And this is what the complaint is from the people. This is the concern. So just imagine when they come with the MOTB. Well, you want to have this problem, once you get that C-hip implanted in you, nobody will be able to take nothing from you. See? Said Justin Klotchko. This person, he might fight, taking the MOTB, or maybe not. Some people might change their mind, especially when everybody's being cornered. And it's basically the only way that you can, function and do transactions in this world, which is what these devils are aiming for. It says a tech and privacy advocate at Consumer Watchdog, your eyeballs are going to be like gold to these thieves. Well, and this is what it is up close. So you basically look into it, and it scans, and now you get this access. So you can just only imagine when they got the kiosk in every store, every public place, at your job. All you got to do is just, put your head right there, or, wave your hand, and you're good to go. And this is the world that they're creating right now. Okay. So, I'm not going to read the rest of it, but I thought this was an interesting read. And this is just more, steps towards the agenda. So anytime we see these type of things, we report it, of course, and we go into scripture, because prophecy is what our main focus is. This is Habakkuk 2 and verse 3, and it says, I'll start at 1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I'm reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and write it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come and will not tarry. All right. And, things are moving pretty fast. And before you know it, this whole system will have experienced a great collapse, and then they're going to, they'll eventually break through with their final solution, which they're going to want everybody to come up under this technology, this new system, this is the new way of life. And this is the only way that you can transact. You can sell your service. You can purchase, make purchases. All right. You would need it to clock in at your job, etc. This is what it's going to be, man. All this to basically get you to come up under this man's system, so that you can worship him and his image. Okay. So this is Revelation 13 and 16, and it says, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. And these are, the different statuses. All right. Whether you insignificant, whether you're famous and known, whether you super wealthy and rich, or whether you have to depend on the government, on the verge of homelessness, free and bond, whether you incarcerated, or whether you're free to roam. All right. As long as you are a law abiding citizen. This pertains to everybody involved. It says to receive a mark, which we know that word is a charagma. All right. In the Greek, that's an imprinted mark, an incision. They cut into your flesh and leave that imprint. And without this mark, not what IUIC say, where they say the mark is anything but what it actually is. It's an embargo. It's sin. It's Christianity. It's the cup in the hand of Babylon to make the earth drunken. It's whatever they say it is. That's what they teach, which is total confusion, because it's constantly changing. And we know scriptures say, meddle not with them that are given to change. When you have to continue to change and alter something, that means that it wasn't pure. All right. It's basically you're not standing firm on what you believe. All right. You allow these men to confuse you then you don't have the discernment. But this prophecy right here is telling you of one mark. It ain't telling you that it's a multitude of different ideas. We gonna give you so many different ideas as to what it could be. That's the MOTB. No, that's not. No, he's gonna cause everybody to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark. All right, and then that's when they want to. Oh well, yeah, this man, he got digital IDs that's coming in. They got digital currency. Okay, but what does that have to do with Christianity? They'll try to combine the two and make it stick. Horrible. It says, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here's wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast. For it is the number of a man, and his number is 636. So, anytime we see these articles and we see this technology that's constantly evolving towards that final step, it's important for us to bring it out. Okay. And we ain't saying that, when we bring out these articles and go into these different programs that they're bringing out, these pilot programs and et cetera, we're not telling you that itself is the mark of the beast, but we're saying that these programs are steps towards that. And it's all to condition the masses. All right. It won't be too far, when they finally introduce the real thing. Humanity won't be too far off from, that initial step that people more than likely feel more comfortable, which is why you do things gradually, slowly but surely inching towards what it is that you actually are aiming for. Okay. So, we can't be ignorant to its devices. But you're gonna have, guys who are paid off because they love money and they love it here. They're gonna act like they don't understand what's going on. All right. And this is Isaiah 56:10. Let me read it in the let me amplify it. This is Isaiah 56:10. It says, Israel's watchmen are blind. The ones that's not paying attention, the ones that's not constantly going into these articles and updating you, because they're too busy jet setting. They're too busy going on panels and podcasts, trying to win over the world. They're too busy trying to be Hebrew Israelite celebrities. They're too busy getting your money because they got initiatives. They want to build communities in Babylon and in captivity. So they're too busy to actually watch, for Israel. And the scriptures say in Ezekiel how, they're like foxes in a desert. They're not setting up that hedge, or standing in the gaps in the day of battle for our people. They're just only concerned with their own personal gain. All right, and y'all gonna see it, man. A lot of these dudes are in it for themselves. They're not in it for Yahweh Shai, for the elect. They're not in it, for that. It says they are all without knowledge, meaning they're ignorant. They are all mute dogs that cannot bark. Panting, lying down, they love to slumber. Settled on their leaves. And the dogs are greedy. They never have enough, which is why they constantly grifting and, getting all this money, making deals, secret deals, 501c3, so they tax exempt, just racking in that dough. They are shepherds who have no understanding. They all have turned to their own way, each one to its unlawful gain without exception. So that's the state of a lot of these false prophets out there that's not doing their job. Or the ones that's actually, you know, they know what's going on, but they refuse to speak on it. They rather say it's something else other than what it is. Because, some of these guys are just paid off. All right. The scriptures say this in Exodus. And it says, take no bribes, for a bribe makes you ignore something that you clearly see. Because some of them, they know what we're saying is the truth, but they just don't want to admit to it because they don't want to lose, their position. They don't want to lose, their status. They don't want to lose followers. And, for some of them, it's just a pride thing. We don't want to give in and finally start telling the truth because, our congregation is going to start looking at us funny. They're not going to they're going to lose trust. We might lose our members to GMS. They might start going to watch GMS now and no longer follow us. It's a pride thing. But if it ain't that, then you under that muzzle because you took the purse, you took the bag. It is a bribe makes even a righteous person twist the truth. And that's why you'll have all these different variations of the mark of the beast breakdowns. You can compile a list, a long list of what IUIC alone teaches is the MOTB. So they ain't got it. So, they're going to continue to come out with these different technological steps. Okay. And we can't afford to be ignorant, understanding, the times that we're in and what this devil is trying to, approve. The scriptures say that the devil's going to come down with great wrath, knowing that he has but a short time. So they're going to accelerate their agenda. Okay. Is what they're going to end up, they're going to move, pretty quickly. And you see where everything is heading. The scriptures say, be not ignorant in a small matter nor a great. And this ain't really, in my opinion, this is not anything small. So, there's just more to look into, as we get closer. All right. You don't want to be caught off guard. You want to be, vigilant. You want to be sober. All right. As a matter of fact, let me get this in, was it 1 Peter 4? Yeah, 1 Peter 4:7, it says, the end of the world is coming soon. This is in the NLT. Therefore, be earnest and disciplined in your prayers, constant prayer. That's what's going to be needed, man. More and more prayer. Okay. Scriptures say not to be overcharged with, drunkenness and surfeiting and cares of this life, or so that day catch you unawares, which is going to come upon, all the earth, the whole world. We don't want to be caught slipping. This man, he's on the verge of collapsing this whole system. And you see how, when Donald Trump, all of a sudden they reached this deal in the midst of this trade war. Still doesn't mean that because they're slowing down on the tariffs that you're not going to be affected. They're playing a game with you people. They're playing right in your face. They're showing you how easy they could dismantle and disrupt, the whole infrastructure. Because eventually the key is to destroy this current infrastructure to bring in the new one, which is what we've been saying consistently. That's what they're going to end up doing. And when they pull the plug, it's not going to just be a false alarm and then everything goes back to normal. Nah, once they pull that plug, that is it. You got to come onto this system now, or you won't eat. You won't work. So yeah, man, keep just stay prayed up and stay watching, and that's basically what we have to do as watchmen. The scriptures say, "Without vision, the people perish." You know, so that's pretty much it. I'll be trying to keep my videos short and to the point. Not too short, but not too long either. So every once in a while I might go long. According to the spirit. But for the most part, videos with articles, I try to keep it short and sweet. But you get the picture. Let's continue to fight, man. And with that, I'm gonna give all honor, all praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rachakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect. Shalom.